Today we will be covering SA 700 series, the last one, as we had done the previous series till date. So let's just start with it. SA 700, forming an opinion and reporting on the financial statements. So what are the types of audit reports? There are two types of audit reports, unmodified report and the modified report. When I talk about unmodified report, so the SA 700 discusses everything about the unmodified report, which is a report when the auditor concludes that the financial statements are prepared in all material respects as per the applicable FRF. Now, when I talk about the modified report, so there can be two types of opinion in a modified report. One can be unmodified opinion and second one the modified opinion. When I say unmodified opinion, so here you can have two paras two types of paras, that is EOM para or OM para, which are mentioned in SA 706. In case you are giving an unmodified opinion but you are adding those paras, that is the EOM para or OM para, then your report stands modified but your opinion is unmodified. Okay, so a detailed discussion will be done on these two paras in SA 706. First of all, let's talk about modified opinion under modified report. In this case, there are three types of opinions. First of all, qualified, then adverse, and third one is disclaimer of opinion. All these are discussed in detail in SA 705. Now, what is the scope of this standard? That is standard is 700. Okay, so this standard scope is to tell you about the auditor's responsibility to form an opinion on the financial statements, what is going to be the content and form of auditor's report, and what does it do? It promotes consistency in the audit report, because year by year you are following this particular standard for making your reports, so thereby your reports are going to be consistent. Okay. Now, what is the meaning of general purpose framework? So there are two types of framework: fair presentation and compliance framework. So let's talk about the fair presentation framework first. So this requires the compliance with the requirements of framework and acknowledges that the following may be necessary for the fair presentation of financial statements. So you can give an acknowledgement. That is, the management may need to provide disclosures which are beyond those specifically required in the FRF, or the management has to depart in extremely rare situations from the requirements of the framework so as to make the financial statements or present the financial statements fairly. Now, let's talk about the compliance framework. In compliance framework, you have to comply with the requirements of the framework, but there is no provision to give an acknowledgement and to say that we are doing so and so because this will make the financial statements more fair. No, you cannot say that, you cannot do that, you cannot give any such acknowledgement which you were giving in the fair presentation framework. Let's talk about the elements of unmodified report. When you are issuing an unmodified report, these are going to be the elements of the audit report. First of all, you will have to give the title. Now, what do you mean by a title? Title is there to distinguish this report from the reports which are issued by others. Auditor's report may be titled as Independent Auditor's Report. The addressee, second one will be the addressee. That is, the auditor's report shall be addressed as appropriate. Generally, it is addressed to the persons for whom it is prepared. That is, the members of the company. You prepare the audit report for the members of the company. So, you are going to give the reference of that in the addressee place. That is, first of all, you are going to write down the title of the report, that is the independent auditor's report. Then you are going to mention that this report is addressed to whom? To the members of the company. Third is the opinion section, which includes an opening or introductory statement, which comprises of, first of all, you will have to mention the name of the entity, the title of each financial statements audited, and third one is the period, date to which the financial statement belongs. Fourth, the statement that the financial statements have been audited and what is the opinion on the financial statement. Now, this is going to be the sequence in which you are going to mention the opinion section. Unmodified opinion on the financial statement shall be expressed as, in case of fair presentation framework, management is permitted to take some deviations. So, you can mention that in our opinion, the financial statements present fairly in all material respects in accordance with the applicable FRF, or you can say that in our opinion, the financial statements give a true and fair view of the financial statements in accordance with the applicable FRF. In case of compliance framework, the management is not permitted to deviate. So, in this case, you are going to say that in our opinion, the financial statements prepare in all material respects in accordance with the applicable FRF. Now, what next sequence or next element will be the basis for opinion. First of all, we talked about title, then addressee, then opinion section. Now we have basis for opinion. So in this section, you will provide a statement that the audit was being conducted in accordance with the standards on auditing. Then you are going to also refer to the section of audit report that describes the auditor's responsibilities, which we are going to study at a later stage. Then it also includes, or it also states that the auditor comply with the ethical requirements, including independence, which means that the code of ethics, that IP Corp. Next, it also covers the auditors believing that they had sufficient and appropriate audit evidence to provide a basis for opinion. Okay. Next para or next element is going concern. This has to be given as it is required by SA 570 in case there are material uncertainties relating to going concern. In that case, only this para is going to come. Next, we have key audit matter. This is also not a compulsory para to come in. This will be given only in case of the requirements of SA 701. Next is other information. So wherever it is applicable as per SA 720, this section has to be reported. So back to back, we had three elements which were optional or which are going to come in specific situations only. For example, the going concern, then the key audit matter and the other information. Going concern 570 के according, key audit matter 701 के according, and other information 720 के according. Next, we have the management responsibility section. So in this particular section, you are going to mention what are the responsibilities of the management. For example, first of all, the management has to prepare the financial statements as per the applicable FRF. So this is their responsibility. You have to mention the same, that the preparation of financial statements in accordance with the applicable FRF is the responsibility of management. Second, maintaining the adequate records to safeguard the assets and prevention and detection of fraud. Third, making reasonable judgments and estimates. Then designing, implementing and maintaining necessary internal financial controls. Then assessing appropriateness of going concern assumption. Then overseeing the financial reporting process. So these are all the responsibilities of the management. So you are going to mention the same. Then you will, after the management's responsibility, you are going to mention your responsibility, that is the auditor's responsibility for the financial statements. So as an auditor, what is your responsibility? You are here to give the opinion. So as per SS 200, what do? Your overall objective is to give an opinion. You have to obtain the sufficient and appropriate audit evidences. So this is what you are going to write. So this section states that the overall objectives of the auditor with respect to obtaining a reasonable assurance that the financial statements are as a whole are free from material misstatements, and issue the auditor's report that includes auditor's opinion. Explanation with respect to reasonable assurance and application of the concept of materiality has to be given. Statement that the auditor exercises professional judgment and maintain professional skepticism throughout the audit. Then you will have to state your responsibilities relating to identifying and assessing the risk of material misstatements, which you do as per SA 315. Then designing and performing procedures responsive to the assessed risk. Then obtaining the sufficient appropriate audit evidences, understanding the internal controls and expressing an opinion on adequacy and operating effectiveness of the internal financial controls which are only relating to financial statements. Now, evaluation of appropriateness of the accounting policies and reasonableness of the accounting estimates. Then you will have to evaluate the overall presentation structure and content of the financial statements, evaluate the appropriateness of use of going concern basis of accounting. So basically, you are just writing down everything that you have studied in all the other standards. Concern, you have already mentioned about going concern. Now, in addition to auditor's responsibility section, you should also mention this responsibility section, that the matters that need to be communicated to the TCWG, what are your responsibilities with respect to the same. Secondly, providing a statement to the TCWG on the compliance with ethical requirements. Third is determining the key audit matter out of the matters which are communicated to the TCWGs. There are a lot of matters that you communicate to the TCWG, but out of them, some of them are key audit matters. So this is also you are going to mention. Note, description of auditor's responsibilities may be included within the main body of the auditor's report, or you can also attach an appendix to the main auditor's report, or there is a choice that you can give a reference to the website of appropriate authority if the law or regulation expressly provides for it. Okay. Now, last main important point is the other reporting requirements, whereby you are going to mention the responsibilities under a separate section which is titled as reporting on the other regulatory requirements. In this case, if the auditor is required to report on matters other than the financial statements, a separate main heading has to be given before you give the opinion section. Okay. Next, 3 पॉइंट्स लास्ट के बहुत ईजी हैं. सिग्नेचर, प्लेस एंड डेट. सिग्नेचर के लिए यू नीड टू रिमेंबर दैट इट शुड बी इन पर्सनल नेम एंड फर्म्स नेम अलॉन्ग विद द मेंबरशिप नंबर और एंड द फर्म रजिस्ट्रेशन नंबर. प्लेस के अंदर इट शुड बी द सिटी वेयर द ऑडिट रिपोर्ट इज गेटिंग साइंड. And date should not be earlier than the date on which the audit evidences are collected, because audit evidences collect होते हैं, उसके basis पर ही आप conclude करते हो, उसके basis पर opinion form करते हो and then report issue करते हो. But अगर ऐसा हुआ कि आपको audit evidences बाद की date की और report पहले sign हो गई, तो how can you say that this audit evidence was obtained during the audit and on the basis of this I am going to give the opinion? You have already given the opinion, तो आप कैसे बोल सकते हो ना कि ये audit evidence is a part of audit, right? So obviously उसकी जो date होनी चाहिए that should be after the date of audit evidence. Okay, so this was all about SA 700. Let's move on to the next standard, that is SA 701. SA 701, communicating the key audit matters in the independent auditor's report. So when is this standard applicable? So this standard applies to audit of complete set of general purpose financial statements of listed entities and the circumstances when the auditor decides to communicate the key audit matters in the audit report. Only then this standard is applicable. Okay. SA 705 prohibit करता है that the auditor cannot give or cannot communicate the key audit matters when the auditor disclaims the opinion. If you are giving a disclaimer of opinion, how can you say that this matter is a key audit matter? Since you have not been able to reach out to a conclusion, तो आप कैसे बोल सकते हो ना this matter is a key audit matter? So you do not require to give a key audit matter para in case you are disclaiming the opinion. Okay. Now, what do you mean by, or what is the meaning and purpose of key audit matter? So, key audit matters are those matters that in the auditor's judgment were of most significance in the audit of financial statements of the current period. Remember all these words. So, these are those matters that in the auditor's judgment were of most significance in the audit of financial statements of the current period. Key audit matters selected from the matters communicated to the TCWG. The matters that you have already communicated to the TCWG as per SA 260, the key audit matter will be selected only out of that. Because if it was not a key audit matter, if it was not communicated to the TCWG, that means it was not that important. If it was not that important, how can you say that this is a key audit matter, right? So the key audit matter is selected from matters which are communicated to the TCWG. Then we have key audit matter is given in the audit report. This will serve, what will key audit matter do? The key audit matter which is given in the audit report will serve the following purpose. First of all, it is going to enhance the communicative value of the audit report. Secondly, it is going to increase the transparency of the matters which were informed to the TCWG. Thirdly, it is going to provide additional information to the users of financial statements. And last one, it will assist the users to understand the entity and the areas of significant management judgments. Okay. Now, what are the considerations for determining a key audit matter? So, for this, you have to remember 3 points: risk of material misstatement, judgment, and the events and transactions effect. Only these 3 words you need to remember this whole answer of considerations for determining the key audit matter. So, to be determined from the matters communicated to the TCWG after considering the following: first of all, the areas of higher assessed risks of material misstatement. Secondly, the significant judgments of the auditor relating to statements that involved management judgments. For example, the determination of provisions, selection of accounting policies, determination of fair values, accounting estimates. Next is effect of significant events and transactions occurred during the year. Okay, so these are the 3 points or 3 considerations for determining the key audit matter. Next, what is the manner of reporting? So for this, you need to remember 3 things. First of all, the introduction. Second, you have to describe the key audit matter. Third, the reasons for selection. All 3, just remember these 3 keywords: introduction, describe, reasons for selection. Let's talk about it in detail. Reporting will be through the separate section titled as a key audit matter. Before giving the detail about the key audit matter, you will have to give an introduction as to the key audit matter. That is, key audit matters are those matters that in the auditor's judgment were of most significance in the audit of financial statements of the current period, and these matters were addressed in the context of audit of financial statements as a whole, and the auditor does not provide a separate opinion on these matters. There is no separate opinion on these matters, remember. Okay. Next, you will have to mention the description of each key audit matter. After you have given the introduction, then you will give the description, providing the reasons for determining these matters to be as key audit matter. Okay. In case of key audit matter, what type of opinion are you going to give? You are going to give whatever opinion that you are giving does not matter, but disclaimer of opinion के case में you cannot give a key audit matter. Next is circumstances in which a matter determined to be a key audit matter is not reported. Now we are talking about the matter in case you consider that this matter is a key audit matter, but still you cannot report that. What are these type of circumstances? So the key audit matter need not to be reported if law or regulation precludes the public disclosure about such matter. If the law and regulation say you cannot disclose this matter, then you will not. या फिर the auditor determines that the matter should not be reported in the audit report because the adverse effects of doing so would reasonably be expected to be auditor determines that the matter should not be reported in the audit report because the adverse effects of doing so would reasonably be expected to be outweigh the public interest benefit of such communication. That means if you communicate this matter, that is going to affect the public interest in a negative way. However, the auditor may report this matter if entity has publicly disclosed this matter. If you see that the entity has already disclosed this matter, then why would you require to hide it? Right? So if entity has disclosed it publicly, you can also do it. Okay. Now this was all about SA 701. काफ़ी छोटा सा स्टैंडर्ड है, काफ़ी इजी है, बस लेकिन काफ़ी चीज़ें याद रखनी है. So एक बार इसको go through कर लेना, अच्छे से रिवाइज कर लेना. It is important as well. So this was all about SA 701. Let's move on to the next standard, that is SA 705. SA 705 modifications to the opinion in the independent auditor's report. So इसमें हमने पढ़ा था modified opinion can be of three types: qualified, adverse और disclaimer of opinion. It is very simple to remember all this. We had already discussed this in detail in the detailed video. हम यहाँ पर सिर्फ quickly revise करने वाले हैं. तो quickly क्या क्या चीज़ें revise करनी है, बहुत easy है. First of all, see whether the misstatement is material or not. If it is material, then only you are going to give a modified opinion. First steps. Okay. Secondly, you are going to see whether the misstatement is pervasive or not. If it is not at all pervasive, then you are going to give a qualified opinion. Even when you are unable to collect the audit evidence, you are still going to give a qualified opinion if the misstatement is material and not pervasive. But if it is material plus pervasive, then you will have to see whether you are able to obtain the sufficient and appropriate audit evidence or not. If you are able to collect the sufficient and appropriate audit evidence, then you are going to give the adverse opinion. But if not, then you are going to give the disclaimer of opinion. Very simple. Material plus not pervasive, and even when you are not able to obtain the evidences, sufficient and appropriate audit evidence, or you are able to obtain, in both these cases, since the materiality hai but pervasiveness nahi hai, so you are going to give a qualified opinion. In other cases, you are going to see adverse or disclaimer of opinion depending upon whether you are able to obtain the sufficient and appropriate audit evidence or not. Okay. Now, next point, considerations while issuing the modified opinion. So first of all, we are going to talk about the opinion section. So you will have to change the name of the opinion section. That is, the heading has to be changed. Earlier you were writing only opinion section. Now you are going to write qualified opinion, adverse opinion, या फिर disclaimer of opinion, whichever opinion you are expressing. Now wordings will be different in each of these cases. Let's talk about these wordings one by one. First of all, qualified opinion. Except for the effects of matters described in the basis of for qualified opinion section, the financial statements reflect true and fair view of dash as per the applicable FRF. या फिर you can say that except for the effects of matters described in the basis for qualified opinion section, the financial statements are prepared fairly in all material respects in accordance with the applicable FRF. So here you are saying that the financial statement के ऊपर आपकी क्वालिफाइड ओपिनियन नहीं है एक्सेप्ट फॉर अ फ्यू मैटर्स. तो यहाँ पर कुछ ही मैटर्स में प्रॉब्लम है. दैट इज व्हाई वी सेड दैट द मिसस्टेटमेंट्स आर मटीरियल बट दे आर नॉट परवेसिव, राइट. इन केस ऑफ एडवर्स ओपिनियन, बिकॉज ऑफ द सिग्निफिकेंस ऑफ मैटर्स डिस्क्राइब्ड इन बेसिस फॉर एडवर्स ओपिनियन सेक्शन, द फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स डू नॉट रिफ्लेक्ट ट्रू एंड फेयर व्यू इन अकॉर्डेंस विद द एप्लीकेबल FRF. तो यहाँ पर एक दो गलती नहीं है, आप परवेसिव था तो इसीलिए यहाँ पर यू गोइंग टू से बिकॉज इतने सिग्निफिकेंट मैटर्स हैं जिनका मैंने रीजन ऑलरेडी बेसिस फॉर एडवर्स ओपिनियन सेक्शन में दिया हुआ है, तो फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स ट्रू एंड फेयर व्यू बिल्कुल भी रिफ्लेक्ट नहीं करते हैं. नाउ डिस्क्लेमर ऑफ ओपिनियन की बात करें तो यहाँ पर आपको एविडेंसेस नहीं मिले होंगे, So because of the significance of matters described in the basis for disclaimer of opinion section, the auditor is not able to obtain the sufficient and appropriate audit evidences to provide a basis for audit opinion on the financial statements, and accordingly, no opinion is being expressed. Okay, now let's talk about the basis for opinion section. In this case, maybe you are going to modify or you're going to amend the heading, that is you're going to write either the basis for qualified opinion or basis for adverse opinion or basis for disclaimer of opinion. Now in this case you will have to include the description of the matter which is giving rise to modification. That is, you are going to give the reasons for modification and the description of the same. Misstatements in the disclosures given in the financial statements. The disclosures which are given in the financial statements have misstatements. So, in this case, you are going to give the description, that is, provide the explanation how the disclosures are misstated. Why do you think they are misstated? Next, required information is not disclosed in the financial statement. पहले में disclosure किया था but गलत किया था. Second वाले केस में हम कह रहे हैं कि जो information दिखानी चाहिए थी that has not been disclosed. तो यहाँ पर क्या करना पड़ेगा? You will have to explain the nature of the omitted information and you will have to provide the disclosure that this was the disclosure which was required to be disclosed in the financial statement. Next, inability to collect the information. Here you are going to state the reasons like circumstances or limitations which are being imposed by the management because of which you are not able to collect the information. Last, misstatements exist in any amount. If you think that there is an amount which is not correct, true, and there is a misstatement involved in it, so you are going to give the description of the misstatement. That is, you are going to quantify the financial effect if it is possible for you to quantify it, and if it is not quantifiable, then you will have to state the fact. Amend the statement with respect to auditors believing that the audit evidences are sufficient and appropriate audit evidences to provide basis for qualified opinion or adverse opinion as the case may be. यहाँ पर disclaimer of opinion क्यों नहीं लिखा? Because वहाँ पर आपको sufficient and appropriate audit evidences मिलते ही कहाँ हैं? तो कैसे लिख सकते हैं? So यहाँ पर सिर्फ और सिर्फ qualified opinion और adverse opinion इसीलिए word लिखा हुआ है. Next, in case of disclaimer of opinion, the auditor shall not include the reference of section of auditor's report that describes the auditor's responsibility and statement as to his believing that sufficient and appropriate audit evidences are obtained, because यहाँ पर तो कलेक्ट कर ही नहीं पा रहा, इसलिए वो रेफरेंस भी नहीं देगा. Now, auditor's responsibility section की बात करें, when the auditor disclaims that opinion, then in that case the auditor shall amend the description of auditor's responsibilities so as to include the following points. First of all, the statement that the auditor's responsibility is to conduct an audit of the financial statements in accordance with the standards on auditing and to issue an auditor's report. Statement that because of significance of matters described in the basis for disclaimer of opinion section, auditor was not at all able to obtain the audit evidence so as to provide a basis for audit opinion. Last statement will be of the statement about auditor's independence and ethical requirements. I hope you are clear with SA 705. Next standard is SA 706. SA 706, emphasis of matter paragraph and other matter para in independent auditor's report. तो यहाँ पर आप क्या, आपकी रिपोर्ट कैसी होती है? मॉडिफाइड रिपोर्ट होती है, पर ओपिनियन कैसी होती है? अनमॉडिफाइड ओपिनियन होती है. तो लेट्स टॉक अबाउट EOM para once. First of all, let's talk about EOM para. A para included in the auditor's report that refers to a matter appropriately reflected or disclosed in the financial statements. The disclosure or the information is already being there in the financial statements, but still you are going to mention in your report. Why? Because in your judgment it is of so much significance that it is fundamental to the user's understanding of the financial statement. Okay. What are the requirements of EOM para? So it should be included within the separate section titled as emphasis of matter. It should be included in the auditor's report immediately following the basis for opinion section. Once you have mentioned the basis for opinion section, after that you are going to give the EOM para. It is not a substitute of material uncertainties with respect to going concern or key audit matter or modified opinions. They are separate. This is step separate. Okay. It should refer to the information which is appropriately presented or disclosed in the financial statement, because you are saying कि ये information अच्छे से appropriately disclosed है, presented है, but still we think that it is fundamental to the user's understanding. That is why we are disclosing it over here. ठीक है, तो आपको mention भी करना पड़ेगा कि कहाँ पर वो disclosed है in your EOM para. EOM para के अंदर you are going to mention that this particular information which we are referring to over here is being presented in the financial statements at so and so place. Okay. Must be mentioned in the EOM para that the auditor's opinion is not at all modified in respect of this particular matter. You have to clearly state this. Okay. Next, what are the circumstances in which the EOM para can be issued? So if you think that there are uncertain situations as to the future outcome of pending exceptional litigations, you can give it in EOM para. Second is significant subsequent events, early application of any accounting standard in advance, of its effective date. Why this early application was done? कुछ तो हो सकता है ना, इसका कुछ रेलेवेंस हो सकता है ये चीज़ यूज़र्स को पता होनी चाहिए इसके बारे में, दैट दिस हैज़ हैपेंड. उनको एक सेपरेटली अगर आप लिख के दे दोगे तो उनका पक्का उस चीज़ पर ध्यान जाएगा, इसीलिए आप इसको इधर मेंशन कर रहे हो. नेक्स्ट, अकरेंस ऑफ मेजर कैटास्ट्रॉफी दैट मे हैव अ सिग्निफिकेंट इफेक्ट ऑन दी एंटिटीज फाइनेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन. ऑल दीज मैटर्स कैन बी डिस्क्लोज्ड इन EOM para. Let's talk about the OM para. A para which is included in the auditor's report that refers to a matter other than those presented or disclosed in the financial statements, which means that this is not related to those information which is given in the financial statement, but this is given when auditor thinks in his judgment it is relevant for the user's understanding of the ऑडिट की बात हो रही है यहाँ पे, या फिर ऑडिटर्स रिपोर्ट, या फिर ऑडिटर की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इन केस ऑफ SA600 where we use the work of other auditor, हमने वहाँ पर बात करी थी division of responsibility para has to be mentioned in the OM para, remember? तो वही चीज़ यहाँ पर बात हो रही है, उसी की रिगार्डिंग यहाँ पे बात हो रही है. या फिर आप जॉइंट ऑडिटर के केस में मेंशन कर सकते हो, जब आप डिफरेंट रिपोर्ट्स इशू करी जा रही थी बाय द जॉइंट ऑडिटर्स, दैट इज दे वर हैविंग डिफरेंस ऑफ ओपिनियन, तो मेंशन करा जा सकता है. कंसोलिडेटेड फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स के केस में ब्रांच ऑडिट, प्रीडिसेसर ऑडिटर, इन चीज़ों को समझने के लिए आप यूजर्स के लिए मेंशन कर सकते हो in the OM para. Now, what are the requirements of OM para? So the OM para is not at all a substitute of key audit matter or other information. It should be included in the audit report as a separate section which is titled as other matter. It should be included in the audit report immediately after the key audit matter. If other matters are related to or with other legal or regulatory requirements, it is to be placed in the reporting on legal and other regulatory requirements section. Okay, that's it. This was all about SA706, emphasis of matter para and other matter para in the independent auditors. SA710, comparative information, corresponding figures and comparative financial statements. So what is the meaning and types of comparative information? First of all, you need to see that these are the amounts and disclosures which are included in the financial statements in respect of one or more prior periods in accordance with the applicable FRF. Okay, so let's talk about the corresponding figures first, and then we are going to talk about the comparative financial statements. So what are the corresponding figures? So comparative information where amounts and other disclosures for the prior period are included as an integral part of the current period financial statement and are intended to be read only in relation to amounts and other disclosures relating to the current period. Not the reports, but the financial statements that you must have seen in your offices while performing the audit are the financial statements where we mention the corresponding figures, that is the previous year figures. So that is the comparative information relating to corresponding figures. But when I say comparative financial statements, so comparative information where the amounts and other disclosures for the prior period are included for comparison with the financial statements of the current period, but if audited are referred to in the auditor's opinion. So here the prior period can be more than one period as well, and here if they are audited तो आपकी auditor's opinion में भी उसके बारे में mentioned होगा. ऑडिट प्रोसीजर्स की बात करते हैं विद रिस्पेक्ट टू कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग फिगर्स और कंपैरेटिव फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स. सो इधर द ऑडिटर विल हैव टू फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल डिटरमिन वेदर द फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स इंक्लूड द कंपैरेटिव इन्फॉर्मेशन और नॉट. सो इफ द आंसर इज नो तो यहाँ पर ये स्टैंडर्ड एप्लीकेबल ही नहीं होगा, बट इफ द आंसर इज येस देन the auditor will have to see whether the comparative information has been appropriately classified as per the requirements of applicable FRF. Now, in the Indian context, when I say, so Schedule 3 of Companies Act 2013 requires the classification of comparative information as a corresponding figure. You all know that. Now, evaluate whether the comparative information agree with the amounts and disclosures of the prior period financial statement. Okay. For this purpose, analytical procedures may be applied. Evaluate whether accounting policies adopted in the preparation of comparative information are consistently applied in the current period financial statements as well. If there is any change in the accounting policies, you will have to evaluate whether the effect of such change is appropriately accounted for and disclosed or not. because the accounting policies are to be applied consistently, but if they are not applied consistently, तो इसका change का effect क्या आ रहा है वो आपको देखना पड़ेगा, whether that change has been appropriately accounted and disclosed or not. If you have any doubt, or if there is any doubt as to the existence of material misstatements in the comparative information, you will have to perform the additional procedures. If prior period financial statements were audited by the same auditor, तो उस केस में procedures as per SA 560 will apply. Obtain a WR from the management that all the previously given WRs still remains appropriate. बिकॉज हो सकता है आपको आपका जो पिछली बार आपने देखा था वो सारी चीज़ें अभी भी, बिकॉज सी कंपैरेटिव इन्फॉर्मेशन जो मेंशन्ड होगी उसके लिए भी WRs ऑब्टेन किए होंगे, तो वेदर दीज WRs आर स्टिल एप्लीकेबल और नॉट, स्टिल एप्रोप्रिएट और नॉट, यू आर गोइंग टू टेक अ सिंगल WR फ्रॉम द मैनेजमेंट विद रिस्पेक्ट टू द प्रीवियस WRs obtained. Now, what is the audit conclusion and reporting with respect to corresponding figures? So, in general, auditors की जो report होती है उसके अंदर आप corresponding figures के ऊपर कोई भी opinion नहीं देते हो, लेकिन अगर prior period financial statements का audit हुआ था and a modified opinion was given thereon, then in that case, that modification, whether this modification is still resolved or not, that has to be seen. If it is still not resolved, then in that case, you will have to modify your current year audit report with respect to corresponding figures. That is, in the current period audit report, you will have to mention that there is a modification with respect to corresponding figures. Okay. This will happen only when there was a modification in the opinion in the previous financial statements, but the modification is still not resolved. Now, if the modification of prior period is resolved and properly accounted for, then in that case, you will have to restrict yourself. That is, you will not be required to mention or modify your current year audit report with respect to prior period. Okay, so there is no need for modification and no reference is also required with respect to the previous period qualification. Okay, if the auditor identifies any material misstatement in the corresponding figures on which the unmodified opinion was issued, then in this case you will have to modify, क्योंकि करंट ईयर में आपको मटेरियल मिसस्टेटमेंट मिल रही है विद रिस्पेक्ट टू कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग फिगर एंड पिछले साल इसके ऊपर अनमॉडिफाइड ओपिनियन गई थी, तो यहाँ पर आपको मॉडिफाई करनी पड़ेगी आपकी ऑडिट रिपोर्ट ऑफ द करंट पीरियड विद रिस्पेक्ट टू द कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग फिगर्स. इफ द कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग फिगर्स वर अनऑडिटेड, auditor should include an OM para, that is as per SA 706, stating therein the fact that the corresponding figures were unaudited. If the corresponding figures were audited by a predecessor auditor, then the auditor will have to include OM para stating therein the name of the auditor, the date of audit report and the type of opinion which was being expressed by the predecessor auditor. Okay, तो ये सारी चीज़ें हमने मेंशन कर दी. अब मैंने इसके लिए एक समरी चार्ट भी बनाया था. इफ़ यू वांट यू कैन रेफर टू दैट एज वेल. मैंने उसको अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन किया था इन द डिटेल्ड वीडियो. आई डोंट थिंक दैट इज़ रिक्वायर्ड एज ऑफ नाउ, क्योंकि मैं ऑलरेडी डिस्कस कर चुकी हूँ कंक्लूजन एंड रिपोर्टिंग वाला पार्ट, तो आपको इसको वैसे करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. बट अगर आपको चार्ट फॉर्मेट में पढ़ने से ईजिली समझ आता है, रिटेन होता है, तो यू कैन डेफिनेटली फॉलो दिस चार्ट. अदरवाइज द टेक्स्ट इज ऑल्सो same as represented in a chart format. Okay, so this is all about SA 710. Let's move on to next standard, which is standard SA 720, which is auditor's responsibilities relating to other information. So SA 720, auditor's responsibilities relating to other information. What is the scope of this standard? So this standard deals with the auditor's responsibilities relating to other information that is included in the entity's annual report. This responsibility do not constitute an assurance engagement on the other information. Remember this. You're not providing any assurance service here. You are just checking whether the other information is not contradictory or not inconsistent with the information that is being provided in the other in your audit report. That means that the audit report and the other annual report, other information which is given, they are not contradictory in nature. You have to just make sure about that. You are not going to give any assurance. You are not going to obtain assurance with respect to the other information. Okay. Now, the responsibility do not constitute an assurance engagement on the other information, या फिर does not impose any obligation on the auditor to obtain an assurance on the other information. Now what do you mean by other information? So यहाँ पर the financial or the non-financial information, which that is the other than financial statements and auditor's report, which is included in the entity's annual report, is known as the other information. Other information can be financial also and non-financial also. ठीक है, ये एनुअल रिपोर्ट का पार्ट होती है. हेयर एनुअल रिपोर्ट के अंदर आपकी फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट और ऑडिटर्स रिपोर्ट भी आती है, बट उसकी हम बात नहीं कर रहे हैं. उसके अलावा जो भी इन्फॉर्मेशन है दैट इज योर अदर इन्फॉर्मेशन. ऑडिटर्स रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी क्या रहने वाली है? सो ऑडिटर्स रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी इज गोइंग टू बी दैट ही हैज़ टू obtain the other information, he has to read the other information, he has to create responses and then he has to report. Okay, now obtaining the other information की अगर हम बात करें, so the auditor will have to discuss with the management which document comprises the annual report and the timing of issue of such documents. He will have to make arrangements to obtain these documents prior to the date of audit report if it is possible. If any of the documents is not available up to the date of auditor's report, then he will have to request management to provide a WR with respect to same, that the final version of the documents will be provided to the auditor as and when it is available. Okay, so if it is available, you will take it before the auditor's report is issued, but if it's not available, then in that case you are going to take a WR from the management that as and when it is available, the final version will be provided to you. Next, reading the other information. So auditor will have to read the other information and he will consider whether there is any material inconsistency between the other information and the financial statements, या फिर other information and the auditor's knowledge, because there are a lot of things that are not presented in the financial statement but the auditor knows about it. So you will have to see whether there is any material inconsistency. छोटी छोटी तो बहुत हो सकती है, material inconsistency पर you will have to focus whether there is any material inconsistency between the other information and the financial statement or the other information and the auditor's knowledge. Responses की बात करें तो in case of any material inconsistency, the auditor shall discuss the matter with the management and he will perform the appropriate procedures to conclude whether there exists any material inconsistency in the other information. If there exists any material inconsistency information, you will have to request to the management to correct that particular other information. In this case, there can be two responses that can be given by the management. Either the management agrees to make the changes or it refuses. If it agrees, then you will have to determine whether the corrections have been made or not. But if it refuses to make the corrections, then you will go to TCWG. You are going to communicate this to the TCWG and you are going to request them for correction. Now in this case also there are two possible situations. Either the TCWG agree or the TCWG refuses. If TCWG agrees, then you will see whether the corrections have been made or not. But if TCWG refuses, then you will have to consider the implication for auditor's report and you will have to communicate the TCWG about how the auditor is planning to address this particular issue in his auditor's report. Now this is what you need to do. Next, if there can be a situation when you will have to see whether there exist material misstatements in the financial statement. अगर other information में थी तो हम already discuss कर चुके हैं आप क्या करोगे. But if the material misstatement exists not in the other information but in the financial statement, या फिर whether there is a requirement to update the understanding of the entity and its environment, which we did in SA 315, that is the basis on which your audit proceeded. So अब यहाँ पर अगर आपको कुछ भी लगता है तो यहाँ पर आपको हो जाएगी tension, because now there is a problem because the financial statements are containing the material misstatement, जिसकी वजह से आपकी ऑडिट रिपोर्ट भी चेंज हो जाएगी. और अगर ऐसा हो गया कि आपने अंडरस्टैंडिंग ही गलत ऑब्टेन करी थी तो यहाँ पर तो आपको पूरा ऑडिट ही हो सकता है दोबारा से करना पड़ जाए. So in this particular case, you will respond appropriately in accordance with the other standards, that is SA 450, 560, 315. Why? Because यहाँ पर तो आपकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग में अपडेशन आ गया है या फिर फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स आपकी मिसस्टेटेड निकल गई हैं. Now, if the auditor concludes any material misstatements or inconsistency in the other information after the date of audit report, the auditor will have to perform the necessary procedures that we have already discussed. Like he will have to see if other information is corrected or not. That is, you will have to recheck the corrections. Otherwise, the auditor is required to take appropriate action considering the legal rights and obligations that we had already discussed in SA 560 as well. रिपोर्टिंग की बात करें तो ऑडिटर्स रिपोर्ट शैल इंक्लूड अ सेपरेट सेक्शन विद द हेडिंग अदर इन्फॉर्मेशन और अदर एप्रोप्रिएट हेडिंग व्हेन एट द डेट ऑफ ऑडिटर्स रिपोर्ट इन केस ऑफ लिस्टेड एंटिटीज ऑडिटर हैज obtained or expects to obtain the other information, or in case of unlisted entities the auditor has already obtained some or all of the other information, the auditor's report is required to include an other information section which shall include a statement that the management is responsible for the other information because it is being prepared by them, and identification of other information if any obtained by the auditor prior to the date of auditor's report, and for an audit of financial statements of a listed entity other information if any expected to be obtained after the date of auditor's report. You will have to mention the identification of all these things, and also you will have to give a statement that the auditor's opinion does not cover the other information. You are not expressing an opinion on the other information, and accordingly that the auditor does not express or will not express an audit opinion or any form of assurance conclusion thereon. You have to specifically give a statement regarding this. Okay, a description of auditor's responsibilities relating to reading, considering and reporting on the other information as required by this standard is also required to be given. When the other information has been obtained prior to the date of audit report, either a statement that the auditor has nothing to report, या फिर if the auditor has concluded that there is an uncorrected misstatement of the other information, you will have to mention the same. When the auditor expresses a qualified or adverse opinion in accordance with SA 705, the auditor shall consider the implications of the matter which are giving rise to the modification on the opinion for the statement required in above para. Reporting prescribed by law or regulation की अगर मैं बात करूँ तो if the auditor is required by the relevant law or regulation to refer to the other information in the audit report using a specific layout or wording, then in that case the auditor's report shall refer to the standards on auditing only if the auditor's report includes at a minimum you have to mention all these things, that the identification of other information obtained by the auditor prior to the date of audit report. Secondly, he'll have to give a description of the auditor's responsibilities with respect to other information, and thirdly an explicit statement addressing the outcome of the auditor's work for this purpose. So all this has to be done in this particular as per this particular standard. So we are done with all these standards, that is 720 is also done. In fact, we have covered all the standards on auditing. I hope these revision videos were helpful to you. प्लीज़ यूज़ देम वाइजली. आपको लगता है स्पीड स्लो है तो आप और फास्ट करके सुन सकते हो इफ़ यू आर कंफर्टेबल विद एन इंक्रीज स्पीड. एंड जल्दी से सारे स्टैंडर्ड्स रिवाइज कर लो. ये वीडियोस आप तब यूज़ कर सकते हो जब आपको लग रहा है आप एग्जॉस्टेड हो, आप नहीं पढ़ पा रहे हो, पर आपको स्टैंडर्ड्स जल्दी से कवर करना है क्योंकि छोड़ के जाना इज़ नॉट एट ऑल एडवाइजेबल. तो कई बार होता है टाइम नहीं बचा बट स्टैंडर्ड्स काफ़ी सारे बचे हुए हैं एंड खुद से रिवाइज करने में टाइम थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा लग रहा है, तो आप इन वीडियोज़ की हेल्प से फटाफट से सारे स्टैंडर्ड्स क्विकली रिवाइज कर सकते हो. अदरवाइज वैसे तो प्रेफरेबल है आप खुद से पढ़ो, वो सबसे बेस्ट तरीका होता है, बट खुद से नहीं पढ़ पा रहे हो तो डेफिनेटली आप यूज़ कर सकते हो इन वीडियोज़ को. सो दैट्स अबाउट इट. दैट्स द फुल कवरेज ऑफ ऑल दी स्टैंडर्ड्स. वी हैव डन standards from the beginning till the end.
I hope this video could help you in some way. If it did, please like the video, share it with your friends and subscribe to the channel. Also, you can connect with me on a lot of social media platforms, links in the description box below. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy and bye-bye.